Alright, this is my second video on Judgment. Judgment is firstly, it is an attack bonk, and secondly, it's the spell aura around you, which is the Righteous Fire, Radiance from Dota, Sunfire Cape, all of that. The attack part scales at added damage is multiplied by 3.5, and with the gloves we have +3 per attunement, so every attunement is 10.5 added melee damage after the effectiveness mathed in. So it is hefty, it one-shots all the trash mobs, it one-shots many bosses, the yellow ones that you find in the maps. Usually the normal monolith bosses take like 2 or 3, but the attack part is not our bread and butter, although it is helped by this node, Pious Offering, which you should take like second priority. It takes the current mana and it deals more damage, which is a lot, 1 mana spent. With attunement we scale mana, or rather we increase the maximum amount. I should probably get the sapphire rings, or whatever they're called, the ones that give you flat mana. Flat mana is a nice stat to have, I didn't bother yet. And leveling Pious Offering, where is it? Seems like a better idea than this shit that I was going towards, because the more mana you spend, the more mana you do, or the more mana you hit. Assuming that the spell potion scales with it as well, that would just reach crazy amount, but because of the no cooldown but mana cost is up, leveling it to full 100% current mana is not feasible, and it is not feasible to focus on the damage portion because of the cooldown. If you remove the cooldown, you go If you do not remove the cooldown, then you sit with your dick in your hand for like 4 seconds, or 2.6 if you have the gloves. Anyway, to the second portion is the dot. I carry it around because of the first skill that I recommend you take, or the node, which is Anointed. You get Judgment at level 50-ish in the frozen area in the campaign, and you will be able to take it immediately. It's 2 to 1, and it's just great. You bonk and you run around, and the trash mobs die either immediately or in 2 ticks. The ticks happen every third of a second, and it is multiplied by spell damage at 225%, which is not a lot, but it helps. Right, the next, like, this is level 5. At 6th level I strongly recommend you get Holy Eruption, because holy shit, Holy Eruption is very good. It is the red circle that you see around here, and it goes boom, and it is 20% effectiveness of spell damage added, and it heals you as well. So that part is just crazy, and it's basically a second hit of the bonk. And what's more important is that if you bonk and you bonk, then the red circle, whatever it's called, Holy Eruption, happens immediately. So you get healed, and well, that is your heal as well. Right, what else should you take? Right, after this you go down and upwards. This is Ignite Chance, very nice. You get like, I get 2 ignites, sometimes you get 6, at least I used to. Right, I chose area, but not very helpful, but it does make a difference. I have gained some things, some attunement since my last video. Right, in your divine order, I chose health regen and the poison resistance because oh, fuck poison. Ignite chance not useful. Increase global fire damage. Very nice and scales both of your judgment pots. Fire pen helpful. This pot useless because you do not judge very often. Elemental resistance endurance useful. Block effectiveness not very, but increased healing per point is top priority. Extremely helpful. I will drop block effectiveness and choose this one instead after I'm finished, because while usually it is absolutely useless, judgment, the damage, the circle and the holy eruption both, they are increased by your healing effectiveness, or rather every point of healing effectiveness gives every 10 points gives you 1 spell damage added, and if you get a lot of that, it gets bonkers, especially since this is 1 spell damage already on the first skill level. Right, next Smite. I'm using it to teleport, but I think of switching it. Don't look at it, really. But if you do, it's up here and down. This is useless, or the Culling Strike. You get enough damage to not need it. This one is not very good because cleanse is useful, features are useful, and even though you are out of mana because of the teleport cooldown, it doesn't work. Holy Sigils, very nice. First you go to gain on hit, then you go to last longer and one more. I chose to go for the block chance, but that has been a mistake, I think. Although not a very costly one. Anyway, you get healing effectiveness here, and if you level it up completely, that is 30 per sigil, so 3 spell damage, and multiplied by 4? 5? I forget what's the maximum. Well, 4. Right, so that's 12 spell damage when you have all of them up, and you have all of them up very often. And this is reversal. I use it as a heal, so I do not take the timeless vitality, because why would you? Right, more damage by the enemy taken, more damage by the enemy taken. This roughly doubles the burn dot that I'm doing, at least in this current setup that I have. Alright, as for the passives, useful nodes are here. Melee physical damage added, so it's multiplied by 3.5, so you have bump my mic. One take, so this is 17 damage before increases. Useful, but I leveled it with I leveled my campaign with strength and resistance. Not as useful, to be honest, but it is what it is. Vitality, health regen, helpful to be fat. Right, armor and minus damage taken. Probably should level it more now that I think about it. Increased damage, useful. Probably should level it less. Block effectiveness, block chance. I took it for block chance. Hell gain on block, useful. Right, Void Knight here, so you can be more fat and get the resistances and the skill. Then, or rather, before you get Void Knight, you should get to Judgment. At least I think I went to Judgment as soon as possible. Right, what can you get here? Attunement, useful. Very nice. Penetrations... I haven't done the math. No, it seems like it's useful. Right, this node, Valor, very good. You should level it to the 10. Block chance, I have it. You do yourself, or choose yourself. Spell damage with the shield. Holy shit, I should get this. Yes, this is very juicy. Wow. Wow. Alright, I know where I'm spending my points. This is a lot. Level it to 10. Useful. This one. Healing effectiveness increases our spell damage, so our dot. Getting fatter. Very nice. Attunement. Attunement is useful. It increases the damage for both and scales the mana on hit from the pious offering things. But mana regen is absolutely awful. I don't know if it's bugged or what. Like, I have 10 and I have some mana, well, increased mana regeneration. Either it's very low amounts or it is bugged or whatever. The most I got was 24 under the water shrine or whatever it's called. But basically, you will go you cannot get positive with Judgment. At least I couldn't. I don't think you would. Right, this one is useful but not point effective, probably. Armor with a shield, spell damage with a shield, good and juicy. Block chance, yep, that's for me. Getting fatter. This one is just fat. Increased damage, increased mana. I like it. Well, all the stats you need in one place. The amounts are not very enticing, but well, it is what it is. And this node is a little bit of a trap, at least I found. In this build, I'm just using it the fire damage and move speed. You could argue for taking or not taking, up to you. Blade chance no, alignment. I am not entirely sure if this one works. The added 24 spell damage sounds useful every 3 seconds, and you cast it every 4. But it does not. No, actually no. Yeah, should be good. A lot of points to spend here, maybe more than I have. What can you get here? Fatness on being hit. Strength, not very good, but this one may be something to look into. Block chance. Block armor on block, nice. There is attunements here. 8 attunements, which is as much as you can get on a gear piece, but getting here may not be point efficient. That is my main concern. Nothing else here matters to us, I don't think. This one is for throwing weapons. We do not throw, at least not yet. I think there may be an argument for going with the move skill on Javelin, but I'm not sure if it leaves behind the dot. The dot would be useful, and instead of having a movement skill, you just walk around on your own, but I'm still considering. Right, on the gear, I have the gloves. Everything else I found just on the ground. Attunement, obviously. Mana, flat mana added, can be helpful. Shields. You can wear a catalyst and it will count as you're unarmed still, but losing a lot of block and not a lot of catalysts have the thingy. Also, in the 66 area, the Black Sun, you can farm a Judgment Shield, which I assume would be the best in slot. So look into that if you're keen. And this area, the Black Sun, has a lot of useful stuff for the build, at least from what I looked at. Right, anything else? No? Alright then, let's do another round, just to show it in action.
Stand down,
It's a
or
bomb,
die.
and it's around the fetches. Die eventually.
Stand down, or die.
So it's nice and comfortable righteous fire. And this is the area boss. Killed it in 2 bonks. What is that? What is that? It's a weapon. Useless. Alright, one more thing to cover is that the heal on the consecrated ground, the aura thing, it happens every 1 and 1.1 seconds basically. So it is not reliable to get heals, but recasting just the regular judgment is. So if I lose my health, I do it again. The holy eruption will kill me. Right, what else can I do? This one is useful as well. Extremely useful. And losing duration is not as good. And the bottom branch of the tree removes the consecrated ground, but since it's the bread and butter, it's not as good. And the smite part is not worth it. I don't think smite will outscale the dot that you do. There is also the pull and the crits. No, I don't think. Well, you do not cast it enough for the crits to be nice and reliable. At least I don't. Personal preference. Right, I will stop here so I do not bore you any longer. Toodles.